Once upon a time, in a bustling Nigerian city called
Ogbea, there lived a hardworking widow named Mama Olatunde. Mama Olatunde lived in a small, crowded single room with her only son Olatunde. They barely had enough, but their love for each other filled their tiny home. Mama Olatunde sold akara by the roadside to make ends meet. Every morning, dressed in a worn but clean apron, she would fry the akara with love in her heart in her small kiosk. While Olatunde would always assist her before heading to school. Life was tough, but Mama Olatunde believed in education and worked tirelessly to ensure her son completed school. Years later, Olatunde graduated from school, but jobs were scarce. He continued to help his mother at the kiosk. To support her further, he took on menial jobs like clearing lands and working on people's farm. His hands grew rough from hard work, but his heart remained soft, dreaming of a better life. One day, while selling akara, Olatunde spotted a familiar face driving a flashy car. It was his old schoolmate Ayo. He shouted his name, Ayo! And Ayo stopped, stepping out of the car to greet him warmly. Ayo hugged Olatunde and said, Ah, Olatunde, my guy. Long time, oh. What happened to you? Why are you dressed like this? And what are you doing in this place? Olatunde laughed and scratched his head and said to him, Ayo, my brother, it's a long story, oh. Things are not easy for me at all. After school, I applied for jobs tire my guy, but nobody gree call me, oh. I no wan sit down house dey do nothing now. So I say make I dey help my mama sell akara o and do other small work here and there. You know na man ghats to survive for dis economy, Tunde replied.
Aya shook his head and said, Ah, but you're one of the best in school back then.
Omo indeed dis life no balance at all. Anyways, I get good news for you my brother. Your suffering don end. Olatunde's eyes widened. Wetin you mean? Ayo smiled and handed him a card. Call me tomorrow. I will show you how to make real money. No more stress. Hugging him again, he entered his car and drove off.
That night, Olatunde could not sleep. His sleep fled from his eyes as he think.
Of all the possibilities, staring at the card, he eagerly waited for the morning to come. Early the next morning, Tunde called Ayo, and Ayo told him to meet him at his house.
When Olatunde arrived at Ayo's house,
He was shocked. The house was massive, with shining tiles, big windows, and fancy cars parked. Ayo, is this your house? He exclaimed, looking around in disbelief. You get money oh, my guy. You na big man oh, said Olatunde. Ayo laughed and said, You are funny oh. Don't worry, you will soon have all this too, my friend. Ayo said, Abeg show me the way oh, Olatunde begged. Grabbing his car keys, Ayo told Olatunde, Hop in, let's go. After driving for an hour, they arrived at a strange, quiet place.
the air felt heavy.
And the surroundings were dark. Ayo, where are we? Olatunde asked, with his voice shaking. Calm down, Tunde. This place go change your life, oh, Ayo replied. Suddenly, a tall man dressed in red appeared. Who is this man? Asked Olatunde, stepping backward. This na Baba, the man wey help me just do as he tell you. Then Baba said, Welcome, gentlemen. What can I do for you? Ayo replied, Baba, I just want you to help my friend. He's like a brother to me. Help him same way you helped me get out of poverty. Baba laughed and said, Young man, pointing to Olatunde, step forward. Olatunde, though scared, came forward. Baba asked Olatunde, Are you sure you are ready to make money? Yes, Baba, I am ready, Olatunde replied, though his voice shaking. All right then, Baba said, coming close to Olatunde. He blindfolded him with a red piece of cloth and placed a knife at his right hand and said to him, Stab the object in front of you.
Olatunde did as Baba instructed.
When he was done, Baba untied his eyes and asked him to go.
But you shall come back every year to do this.
Is that all? Olatunde asked. Confused but relieved, Ayo answered him, "Yes, Omo, your life don't change oh." As they drove back, Olatunde's phone rang. It was a company he applied to years ago. "Hello, Mr. Olatunde. Can you resume work tomorrow? Your salary is 800,000 naira per month to be increased after 6 months, and you are entitled to an official car and an apartment."
The voice on the other end said,
Olatunde answered without hesitation, "Yes, sir." When he dropped the call, he shouted in excitement, "It's working oh, Ayo. Baba work dey show." Ayo said, "This is just the beginning, my friend. Just remember to do what Baba said every year," reminding him. "That's na small thing now, my guy," Tunde replied. Life improved for Tunde and his mother. They soon moved to their new apartment and Tunde enjoyed his job. But one day, after closing from work, he came to the house and saw his mother lying on the floor. Panicked, he rushed her to the hospital, but the doctor said she was gone. Tunde cried bitterly. "Mama, why?" "No, not now," he said.
little did he know that her death was a part of the price he had to pay for his wealth.
Weeks later, Mama Olatunde was laid to rest, and Olatunde mourned her for several days. Life slowly moved on, and Tunde focused on his job, and his wealth grew. Months later, he met a beautiful lady named Adama. They both fell in love and soon got married. Their wedding was the talk of the town, and within a year, Adama gave birth to a baby boy. Olatunde felt on top of the world. His wealth was growing, and he had a happy family. 1 year later, it was time for Olatunde to renew his sacrifice. He drove to Baba's shrine in his black sleek car. Baba welcomed him and asked him, "Are you ready?" Olatunde answered, "Yes, Baba." Then Baba blindfolded him as usual and placed the knife at his right hand and told him to stab the object in front of him. Olatunde did as Baba instructed him without hesitation. When he was through, Baba untied his eyes and told him to go. As he drove home, he received a call from his wife. "Come to the hospital immediately. Our son is sick," she cried. Olatunde rushed to the hospital, but when he arrived, it was too late. His son was gone. He broke down in tears, screaming, "Why, God, why?" Olatunde and his wife grieved for months over their son. Despite their grief, life moved on. Olatunde poured more of himself into his work, and his wealth grew even more. He opened new businesses, built houses and bought lands and became a well-known figure in Obia. Adama supported him, though the pain of losing their son never fully healed.
Olatunde had everything he ever dreamt of, but he often felt empty inside.
As his mourning couldn't bring back his loved ones,
One day,
Olatunde sat alone in his office, thinking about the sad loss of his mother and his little child. His heart felt heavy, and his eyes were filled with tears. He remembered how kind and loving his mother was, and how she suffered to see him through school, and also how he was happy when he first had his child. But now they were both gone, and he's left with the pain of missing them every day. "Ah, Mama, I miss you, my little Prince Charming. I miss you so much," Olatunde said softly to himself. "Why did they have to go? What did I do wrong?" Then he paused and said, "Wait, I hope their death has nothing to do with Baba's task. And why does Baba always tie my eyes whenever I do the task? What kind of task are these? I don't even understand them. I have to find out the truth. I can't let him blindfold me again."
it was time for
Olatunde to renew his sacrifice. He entered his car and drove to Baba's shrine. When he arrived, Baba welcomed him and asked if he was ready. Olatunde replied, "Yes, I am." "Step forward," Baba said in a calm but commanding voice. Olatunde did so, but as Baba was about to blindfold him with a red piece of cloth, Olatunde said, "No, Baba, I don't want you to tie my eyes today." Baba stopped and looked at him. His eyes were cold, but his voice remained calm. "Whatever you see You must accept it. There is no turning back. Olatunde nodded. Baba turned to Olatunde and handed him a sharp ceremonial knife. Take this. Remember there is no turning back. Baba pointed to the mirror. Now raise the knife and stab the mirror, as you always do. Olatunde raised the knife,
But just as he was
about to stab the mirror. His breath caught. In the mirror, he saw his wife's reflection. No! Olatunde shouted, dropping the knife. Baba said to him, you must complete the task. If not, you will lose everything you have. Standing there, confused and weeping bitterly, will he really sacrifice his wife, knowing the truth about his wealth? To be continued.